curious because
That's my favorite place of everybody.
Okay.
Skunk and Tiny Toons. Actually, we're recording right now, so if anybody wants to because we started talking.
No segue
before.
is the best segue.
Hi, this is the Cornerbooth. What? See,
So Larry's
now,
making slashing of his throat motions. We think he's going to murder someone later.
We want you to stop and start over.
Or cut this out later, which we're not going to do.
We're
Hi, guys.
totally not going to do that. Go ahead, Chance.
Welcome to the Corner Booth. We're back. We love you. We missed you. And welcome. And boy, we got a treat for you guys today. I'm going to let Larry talk about it because his mouth is full of salad.
Well, first of all, we're here at the Buchanan Arms.
Back at the Buchanan.
Yes. And this Corner Booth is brought to you by Ghost Train Pictures, makers of fine family entertainment. Actually, what's really cool is Ghost Train Pictures. My independent company is working on a game right now. I've got a short film we're working on, so check out the stuff on Facebook on the Ghost Train Pictures page. If you want to see some of our artwork in our more professional venue, you can go to ghosttrainpictures.com. That's ghost, and then T for train, pictures.com. We're here today with Debi Derryberry.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. I was a little bit late, and Larry had to help me park.
Yes, I won't talk about all the scratches on her bumper. Apparently, she's a master at it.
I am really, really good at it. And those scratches are not all from parking, by the way.
Oh, man.
Are they okay? Are they out of the hospital now? Or?
The scratches are war wounds on my beater.
Battle scars.
And they give me calmness in Los Angeles because I don't have to worry about getting a scratch on my car. Because what's one more?
Right? Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
love it.
the cane embedded in the bumper.
So what are you having to drink for lunch, Debbie?
Right. I'm having a diet. Did I miss something?
No.
I'm having a Diet Pepsi.
Oh, I thought maybe the scratches on the car
Oh,
were...
a drink. No. It's not cocktail hour here yet, Larry. Silly man.
That's right, it's another 20 minutes. So Debbie is an actress, or should I say actor? I never know what to say
You can
anymore.
say actress because I have boobs.
Girls have bumps.
.com. That's the copyright Corner Booth 2004.
Oh my
Just
God.
from
I would not go there because it probably exists.
Wasn't it like in Living Color skit where there was like the Ken and Barbie?
Wait, this is G-rated. I'm sorry. Let me rewind. You can call me actress or actor because I think that helps people know whether you're a boy or a girl, even though I play boys on TV.
Oh, but only on television.
And radio sometimes.
Oh, okay.
A lot.
Non-visual media.
Voice acting.
Right.
Excellent.
And
So-
some on camera.
So Debbie and I met in a voice class many years ago when I was working on Tiny Toons. We were in Charlie Adler's class together.
With Chris Zimmerman.
Chris Zimmerman.
Right. Who are both still very active in voiceover and really good. And we've all gone so many different ways, but we're all still in voiceover and still all involved in so many different projects.
I hear it's a very small niche industry. Is that true? Do you find that you work with a lot of the same people?
I do, but it has gotten really available to so many people.
Okay, great.
I think I don't know, maybe it's just, how can I say this? There are the core group of people that work all the time, that you see all the time. But because animation's gotten so big, you can audition from anywhere and you can have anybody in your cast anywhere at any time.
Cool.
Oh, that's really interesting.
And then there's the whole other part of it that is on, things that aren't television.
Right.
There's the whole app thing and the computer thing and the webisodes and the...
There's so many new avenues to go down that need this kind of talent.
Different media streams.
Cool.
It's just kind of exploded.
Well, that's
But
encouraging.
For me, I've always stayed in my pigeonholed niche, which is this character-y voice, and I can do non-character-y voices as well, but I don't know, I stay in this, I love what I do. I was thinking the other day, if I ever want to do anything different, and I don't, because I like what I do. I love what
I
I
think you
do.
should think about singing sometime.
Roast beef is to Larry
Thank you.
with that puff thing.
And one piece fish.
Yes, thank you.
Larry, if
right
you
back
don't
with
eat
the
the
other
puff
one.
thing, I will totally hit that up again this week.
Isn't that Yorkshire pudding?
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, you didn't
Yeah,
eat it
pretty
last
sure.
week, and it's good. If you want it, please kill it. But if you don't, I'll take it.
Okay. Are we gonna like have an interview or just tell people about our menu?
So
items?
here's how you make the puff thing. You start with 3 eggs, not 2. Okay. Oh boy. Thank you so
Wow,
much.
that is a heck of a bowl.
Sorry about that.
And you're gonna finish every bite of that, Chance.
Yes,
Young
I
man.
am.
Oh my gosh.
I accidentally scratched her finger. I feel bad.
So we were talking about on the different
But you should be,
facets, and I
and
sing
you should
also.
be singing.
Well,
Oh, you do?
know, I love singing, and I've always been a singer, and I thought I was going to be a singer until Dad told me you can't make a living doing anything but going to college and being a doctor. So
What?
Thanks, Dad.
you know what? He had good intentions.
He meant well. Yeah, he was
He
looking
meant
out
well.
for you.
He just I guess it's hard to recognize someone's passion if you're not living inside their heart.
Thank you so much. And could I have one more ranch dressing?
You know, my
please?
dad
Thank you.
did Western art bronze and painted on the side as he was also a fireman. And I was very fortunate. I found this. There's either two camps, at least that I found. Parents that were very supportive, or parents that were not. And I seldom found something that was in between.
Huh.
And so
And
with
I don't
me,
think
it
it's a
was
parent's
very
fault.
supportive. No.
They just sometimes are too busy, and they're like, yeah, you get on with your stuff, and whatever you do, you're going to do. So I got my guitar when I was 9, and I wrote songs all the time, and I've written hundreds of songs, and I've been singing and singing forever. But can't say I've ever made a lot of money in it. I started out with some country albums after I decided not to go to med school, and moved to Nashville, and then when I had my kid, I moved into preschool music, and I have a few more albums out in preschool. And
It's a good thing you didn't like move away and join the circus and become a clown.
I did that TV series as a clown. No, wait, I guess that qualifies. I moved away and become a clown because I was on Hey Vern, It's Ernest as a boy clown.
Yes.
You know, Larry, your segues are brilliant. Because I act like I think I don't know what you're talking about, and then all of a sudden I realize that you had this whole thing premeditated. It's like you sat up all night trying to figure how to get me to talk about that.
So you were on Hey Vern, It's Ernest, the Saturday morning show?
I was the boy clown.
That is awesome.
They didn't even audition me. They saw me playing Scout in To Kill a Mockingbird in Nashville as a 12-year-old boy when I was in my late 20s, and just cast me. I'm like, oh, what is it? Just come in, we'll dress you up like a clown, and you'll do this. And I had no idea it was a national on-camera TV series. All of a sudden, I'm in Screen Actors Guild. All of a sudden, I'm getting checks, and I'm quitting my job waiting tables and moving home.
Yay.
Yeah, yay.
And what did Dad say?
Dad came and got me and drove me back, and had to listen to Pirates and Penzance the whole way back.
Thank you so much.
I don't really remember what he said. He was kind of proud of me. I think he was always petrified that I wasn't going to be able to make a living. Like, when is the next job coming? And it's always frightening, but I've managed to do it for 25 years. I guess that qualifies as a career. Yes.
Yeah, but what's your next one going to be?
There's still a chance to go to med school.
You know, I do always wish I had gone to med school. I think I'd be an awesome doctor, but who would believe me? I'd be like, I am going to take out your appendix now, and then we're going to sing. I'd be like, yeah, we're
All the while wearing clown makeup.
And then while you're doing the operation, you can be singing "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead." That'd be
Or
awesome.
preschool music.
Yeah.
Now, one of my preschool songs, a few of them were on the charts, but one of them went to #1
That's
Wow.
awesome.
on XM Sirius. That was pretty exciting, having my
cool.
publicist call and say, guess what, your song hit #1 on the charts.
That's awesome.
Isn't it? Yeah, it was Baby Banana, but heck, it did, didn't it? But it's hard to make money in any entertainment venue these days because everything's digitalized and downgraded, and anyone can can put anything up. I mean, somebody who gets out of junior high can throw up something flash on the computer, and it'll go viral, and boom. somebody else who has gone to Cal Arts for 18 years and all of a sudden comes out with something brilliant, and they've worked it and pitched it and pitched it and pitched it and pitched it, and it dead in the water.
Yeah.
So-
Where's the fairness?
So you're saying I should just give up? Having gone to Cal Arts, although I didn't go there for 18
I don't
years.
know. Well, wouldn't that make it actually more fair for everybody? Like that now it's like now everybody there's no.
You're saying that everyone has the same opportunity.
Yes.
Because there's no holds barred and there's no
Whatever
what is it,
clicks
the
with
level?
the audience.
There's no like bar.
Yeah, and I'd like
Because
to.
you never know.
It's so true, and I'd love to chime in here with another level of this whole thing. The gate has been torn down, and that's the whole.
To a degree. To a degree.
To a degree. That's
Not the big movies yet, because the big studios still have the distribution arms.
Well, yes, but that's very true. But as far as creators are concerned, like what you were talking about, there's no more gatekeepers per se. I mean, they still exist, but there's so many avenues that people are actively pursuing as a standard practice now, like crowdfunding and independent distribution, and like you said, just releasing it online and having it go viral.
And I think a lot of people's dreams of pitching to Nick or Disney or Cartoon Network and having them pick it up and having it go to series. Yeah, that's one roadmap.
It's just one.
But
exactly.
it's not really the moneymaker because they take your creative and they take everything and you're left with, oh, that was my idea once. People are making more money sometimes in international stuff.
True.
Where you go and do a preschool show for UK or for Africa or something, and all of a sudden you're making more money than you would somewhere else.
If that's true, Debbie, when are we going to do our show?
Tomorrow.
Didn't miss a beat. Didn't even miss a beat.
Daddy wants a new Mustang.
Well,
Mommy wants. What do I want? Oh, I want to redo my bathroom.
all I need is my solid gold house and my rocket car, and I'll be set.
What about the hoverboard?
Oh, dude, and the hoverboard. Yes.
Do you want a French fry?
I would love one. Thank you.
Pesco.
Finance the company that makes the hoverboard and just
thank
franchise rights alone.
Did you say no thank you?
I said thank you.
Better.
So, do we actually want to talk about the other stuff that Debbie did, or are we pretty much wrapping it up here?
I just like to throw in one final thought on the whole pitching thing.
Uh-huh.
That dream that all of us had to pitch to fill in the blank your favorite animation studio or network and get it picked up.
Because your idea is so brilliant that how can it not be awesome?
Oh no, exactly. Like even the awesome ones. You said something very true, Debbie. That that route's not the moneymaker, and I think it never was. It was simply the only way to go before, and now there's so many other better ways to go for a lot of people.
Better, more accessible.
Exactly.
Doable.
Yeah.
Basically, the fact that you can do self-distribution, at least to some degree, pretty easily. You put things up on YouTube. If you get a following before you go to Nick or somewhere else, they have to give you a better deal
And
because
sometimes
they
they come
know
to
that
you.
you're not the. That's right.
But
I
it
mean,
also-
look at Annoying Orange and things like that.
Yeah.
But it really does put the burden on the creator who thinks if I only had the chance, it would be famous. It's like really, then put it out there and
Right,
see.
because here's your chance.
That's so true.
There is no excuse now.
Like no excuse.
right.
Everyone has a chance.
It's not about how good you are. It's about how hard you are willing to work and how maybe right place, right time still holds true.
Very true.
Yeah, but so let's continue. So what your first gig was actually the
Hey, Ernest? No, that was my first TV series.
I mean, well, and then what led you into voice acting from that point on?
Well, the agent that that represented me for that series also said, "Hey, do you want to do stand-in work for the boys in the movie Hey, Ernest Goes to Camp?" And being what you can't see me, but
so what's
I'm
stand-in? You mean like
stand-in is when the actor is just a kid and can only be on set for so many hours, so they get a grown-up to do the time-consuming things like stand in their spot while they set the lights and the height. And since I'm the height and the same coloring and the same everything as the boys, I did the stand-in work because I'm not proud. I pretty much will do anything.
Cool.
As long as it pays me and it's work and it makes me feel like I'm contributing to some creative thing, I'm happy.
Awesome.
So, one of the women of the mom of one of the boys, Scotty Menville's mom, Dottie Menville, was on the set while I was standing in, and she said to me, "Your lead's falling out of your pencil."
Really? Is that what you
And
said?
she said, "No, you shouldn't say that." She said, "Sorry, Lewis's lead was falling out of his mechanical pencil." She said, "Have you ever considered voice work?" And I'm like, "What is that?" She goes, "Well, animation." I'm like, "No, I never even thought about it."
Did you say it just like that? Now.
No. Yeah, probably. Well,
Get out of here.
Back then, I would talk like this. This is my trained voice. But back then, my voice was up here all the time, right? That's what I sounded like, because it's easy. But now I do this. Anyway, she gave me some names of casting directors, and I had my portable typewriter back then, the kind that I thought I was just the cat's pajamas, because you pressed the button and you could go back over your mistakes.
I
No,
love
wait,
those.
now what was this called?
A
It was a
typewriter.
typewriter. It was an
Typewriter.
electric typewriter that you could take with you, a portable one, and it had batteries.
And what do they do? What's a typewriter do?
Well, it lets you type words, and it actually had a memory that went back
Oh,
a
it's a
few
computer.
words.
So it was a keyboard with a paper in it.
Pretty much.
So is it like a computer printer combo?
Now, at the beginning of this interview, you told me there was only allowed to be one smart. Okay, I'll give that to you, Larry. You take it. Take it, baby. So I wrote letters to the casting directors and the people she told me. Oh, look at you're drawing Batman.
Is that what they told you?
And then, no, he's drawing Batman. They said, yes, you have a good voice, your demo is cute, you have to live in LA. So I got divorced and moved to LA and called up one of them, Ginny McSwain, and she said, sure. And she called ICM, and they signed me that day. And I started booking
ICM.
2 weeks later, 25 years ago.
Wow.
I remember when ICM called me in, they heard my voice tape, and they said, okay, you have to be ready to leave and go where we tell you anytime, any moment, and we want you to do voice work. And I said, no. And they said, what? I said, I'm an animation supervisor at Warner Brothers Features. I can't leave at any moment. You are? I said, yes. I do voice work on the side from time to time. Oh, well.
Bye-bye.
So they brought me in, had me do one reading, and then it was bye-bye.
You know what? When people come to me and they say, I really want to do some voiceover, I think it would be fun to do part-time. I pause and I think, oh, like that successful realtor who works part-time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It really doesn't work that way. It's a full-time gig. You got to, if you have a lucky gig that, yeah, I work full-time in an office or whatever, and then I get to go on Friday nights and record. It doesn't really happen that way in my world.
Do they just call you at any
people like
time
Rich-
on any day?
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
But people like Rich Moore, myself, people that work in the industry that actually make the films, we do voices occasionally.
Yeah, you
on
can
the
throw
side.
yourself
Cool.
bones and do them.
That's cool.
Because you know about the stuff, and you say, we don't even need to cast this. I can knock that out.
Yeah, or you temp, and then it ends up being better than
That's
anybody
happened to
they
me
want
too.
to hire.
It's happened a few times. Debbie's drawing pictures or something. It's a scribble.
Yay.
That is really good.
It's a girl.
A circle, eyes and a smiley and a mouth, and hair.
Watch out, Louis. She's trying to go.
It's not
go for your
nearly
job
as
now.
detailed and fabulous as your Batman. It's coming along beautiful. I don't even know if it's Batman. But
It is.
It's Batman.
It's Batman Beyond.
This one time I was on like a
unicycle?
promo show. Yeah.
Unicycle.
That was a very short-lived career. Lasted about 5 seconds.
That was when you used to talk like this before the accident.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm way up here. Hey guys. But what
The unicycle accident was,
before the unicycle accident, I was on this little like promo thing, and I was like, it was like the idea on the show was like, you're supposed to be impressing this girl. So I'm drawing, I'm sketching, and the idea was like, oh, you won't be able to see what I'm drawing until after I say this. And so she's like, well, can you draw me? And I said like, well, I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm pretty good. And then I drew something that was like, a stick figure, and then like hold it up, and she was just like, okay, get out. But yeah, And then the surprise that I didn't tell anyone about is like I had actually like because she was like an up and coming stand-up comedian, so I had found pictures of her online and I drew a real like good version of her and I had it in the back of the sketchbook. So before I left, I was like, oh, by the way, here you go. And she was like, what? Wait a minute.
Thinking ahead, are you, Chan?
I try. It's very rare, though. Like, wait a minute. I should have thought ahead, like, that one time.
So are we going to finish
Very.
Debbie now?
You know,
I thought we could hear more about Chance and his
Debi
dating
Derryberry,
things.
you know, I'm sorry.
I'll say, so we were on the Nashville, and then we moved back here, and then it was ICM, and then it was working, and then animation, and and then we were talking about how is that how it is? They just call you and say, "Come do this voice," or it used to be that I'd get these giant auditions, like for the Addams Family audition. They're doing 65 episodes or whatever, or Jimmy Neutron, and that was one of those ones where that was for an interstitial role.
So you did get some of these jobs.
Yeah, I got some of that jobs.
That's good.
And then they would, like the Jimmy Neutron thing was first interstitial, and then it was a feature.
Who did you do on Jimmy Neutron?
Oh, you're asking me? Okay, I did Jimmy Neutron. That's how I'm famous. I was Jimmy.
Bat and the Clown on that Ernest Kids show.
Yes. that I watched like clockwork in Saturday mornings. I love that show.
That was a great show.
I loved all the Ernest stuff, though. Jim Varney's the man.
He sure was.
He was the man.
He was.
He was very smart.
He did all the
Very
Brahms
literate.
ice cream commercials from my hometown.
All right, good security.
There were several ice cream companies that he did the commercials for, and Brahms, which is a Oklahoma-based awesome ice cream company, was one of the ones he did it
I
for.
saw one of those commercials.
Yeah.
There was like a Jim Varney blooper reel that I watched.
It's before he was doing his movies and the kids show, and
That's how
before
he-
Toy Story and all that stuff.
That's where Ernest came from, right? Was the commercials.
Yep.
Right.
I
Exactly where it came from.
They're the best, man. There needs to be like a compilation DVD you can buy of all the Ernest stuff.
Yeah,
There-
that'd be good.
I would love that.
I bet you could find some of it on YouTube.
Yes.
So the way it's changed now is, I don't, and I think the successful people, or the people who want to remain in the business, have to stay a little bit technologically advanced, which as you get older, it becomes more and more ominous to learn any new device, you know? Even friends of mine who are animators, and they're like, oh, you can't do this anymore, here, have this pad.
Like portable typewriters, things like that. Keep up with that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I actually bought new batteries for my portable typewriter, because now I can,
I put wheels on it.
I don't even drive into the agency anymore. I moved to an agent before we started recording at home. I moved to an agency that was closer to my kids' school and my house, so that I wouldn't have to drive an hour, audition for an hour, drive an hour home, 3 hours out of my day. Now, you know, I wake up in the morning, I click my emails, and there's 4 auditions to do in the morning, and then I wait, and they come in all day long. Whether they're
Boy, you
video
just get
games
auditions
or
all day long. Just
all
coming in
day long.
all day
I
long,
got
all
2
day,
right
all
before
night.
I came here, all night.
How did you have time to sit down with us today?
I had to schedule it in, Mr. Smarty Pants. I called my agent on the way home from my session, had a discussion with her, got home, recorded 2 auditions, and took care of my little doggies who just got neutered. Oh, cone of shame! I can't even say that word without laughing.
Yeah.
This poor little puppy with the cone of shame.
Oh, no.
I feel so sorry for me, so pathetic in his little cone. He only weighs 2 pounds. The cone's like 4 pounds. Drop it. He would lift his head to eat.
Don't you just pour the food into the cone?
I put it on Facebook. I said, can't we cut these cones down? And somebody responded, well, then you can't play basketball. You can't work as a what do you call it? Net.
Basketball hooper.
Yeah.
That's
You toss
awesome.
napkins in at it. Oh, I feel terrible.
It's terrible.
Just put peanut butter on the napkin. They'll be fine.
I had to, stay hip and up with it and learn. I have these Mac guys who will come and sit with me every, couple weeks, and I have to pay them to teach me how to do this stuff because you know, and somebody, God bless his heart, built me a booth in the house.
Awesome.
And I have a mic and a booth, and I know how to work my sound system now. And I can record, and I can cut out all the bad stuff. I can normalize, I can equalize, I can shorten it, lengthen it. I can do these amazing things that only engineers could do before. So I'm kind of like this
Well, you are an
bastard
engineer
engineer now.
Yeah.
I said
awesome.
a bad word on your show. Sorry. But there are
We
a
won't
lot
tell
of
anybody.
there
That's
are
the first
people
time
who
that's ever happened.
it is challenging to keep up with all the stuff. I mean, then I started doing these conventions where you go and you sit at, you know, Comic-Con or any of these different cons, and a lot of them are out of the state, out of the country, and what do you do when auditions come in then? Comes into my iPhone. I have a portable booth I take with me. It doubles as a footstool on the airplane.
What?
I open it in my hotel room. I set up my
That's
Apogee.
crazy.
I set up my microphone, my iPad, and I record and edit my spots there. I send them either upload them to an FTP site, or I can just send the MP3 files if they're short.
It's amazing.
And all my auditions, I never miss one, even if I'm out of the country. I mean, I miss them if I fly overnight and you miss the day auditions. Or
Well, out of all the auditions, how many do you actually tend to get?
Oh, I book every one of them, Louis. Every one of them. Did you want to see my beautiful car outside? Again?
Just out of curiosity.
It really, there's no roadmap to this business.
I think that was Debbie's
There's
way of
no-
saying none of your damn business.
It is your business, but there's no rhyme or reason to it. I think if you don't enjoy the process of the acting business, you have no place being in it, because it's not about. I mean, it is about what you book because you have to support yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say most of the stuff I audition for, I don't get. You wait for that one or two that you do get that pay, or you figure out how to make it work. Because you work, as in any business, I think it's the same in animation, drawing, you work a lot harder for a lot less money.
It just seems like with auditioning and voice acting and stuff like that, you know, you hear about authors pitching their books or trying to get their books and getting the rejection letters, and they have to send so many and get so many rejection letters back and all this other stuff. It just seems like with like voice acting, it's the exact same thing, only it's more concentrated.
Yes, and there's another iron that's thrown in here that wrecks things, is that I'm not able to participate in any principal roles anymore in feature films, because all of those roles have to go to on-camera celebs. Or A-list celebs of some sort.
Because of marketing mainly.
They want a face to put with a voice.
They want a name.
They want to be able to advertise.
They want a name to put with it, which I don't know if I understand. Mostly I want to be bitter and yell at them. But in reality, that's just in my world. That's the way it is in my world, which we're talking about just me today. It's my interview. So, what is available to me?
So back in the
Smaller roles.
Back in the classic days when Walt Disney was still alive and they were making feature films that were hand drawn, and they were casting big names like Hans Conried. Oh wait, he wasn't a big name.
Oh,
Wait a
who
minute.
is that?
Captain Hook.
He was a stage.
He was awesome.
Video games, you can get decent roles on without being an A-list celeb. Some of the smaller cartoons. But even the basic cartoons on Adult Swim or something, very few of them go just to, the core VO people that you talk about. We're, I think, more the utilities. So the business has changed. Everything's changed.
Which sounds very familiar.
But I love it, and I will continue to learn how to work all the new gadgets and gizmos.
Yeah, and that's the point. Is like when you do something you love, you want to evolve with it. You want to oh, cool, this is the new thing or the new way. I mean, it doesn't have to be a burden, And it really, I think what you're saying reigns true across the board. Is you.
Thank you.
If you, oh yay, thank you.
Oh, you got grease.
I just got a
you got
fry.
grease on Bart.
I just got a French fry.
Bart is approaching adolescence, and he probably has grease on his face.
If anybody else wants fries, I'll pass the plate around.
I'm good on fries, thanks.
Thanks, Debbie.
I just gave Chance my fries.
They are delicious. Today's episode is brought to you by Oscar Mayer Fries.
Oscar Mayer.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the letter A.
Oh,
The letter
I love
F
that.
for fry.
Or PH.
Yes, I like it. Yeah, that's so cool.
Is that Louis Anderson?
No, it's the guy over there.
Over where? Am I missing him?
Oh, with the bar. With the bar.
Oh, I see him. So,
Luis is sketching and Debbie's getting distracted.
this is why I can't watch the news at night. I have to listen to the radio because I won't have any idea what the weather is. I'll be looking at the weather, and then the girl comes on with
Look
the
at
dress.
that nice dress.
I'll be like, what is she wearing? Look at that dress. Look how short it is. That makes her look heavy. Should she wear that many stripes? And then I'm like, is it going to rain? And she just said, oh, I missed it. So I have to listen
And the hurricane is closing in.
Wait, where'd you get the dress?
Yeah. I love it.
Please evacuate.
I have to do the same thing. I listen to stuff that I don't really need to pay attention to because I will totally. It's like I've got a deadline, but I'm just like, oh, I love this part of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I want to see the clowns turn into dinosaurs.
I don't remember them turning into dinosaurs.
No, it's I
Not really,
combined
but-
two scenes. There's a dinosaur scene and a clown
okay.
scene. They're both nightmares, though.
Okay.
Sorry, I went there.
It's okay. A.G. was in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yep.
So,
Or
yeah,
Freddie G. Daly.
my bestie
You know who she was?
is...
In
Dottie.
Yes!
Dottie.
That's,
You hang with Dottie? Do you guys hang out?
I didn't
Well,
mean that she had
we do.
she had died.
in fact,
I mean who she
this
played in that
is
movie.
what kind of good friends we are.
Okay.
Both of her daughters' births, I cut their umbilical cords.
Wow.
And
Whoa.
she cut my son's.
That's awesome.
Because we gave the husbands first right of refusal, and they got green and said,
Oh, I did. I did both of them.
You did?
Yep.
It's the kind of guy you
Right
are.
there.
That's awesome.
I got green.
How many do you
Aw.
have? Kids. Wow. 5. He held up 5 fingers. Wow.
Yeah, I guess that didn't quite make good radio there, did it?
No, I mean you hold up your hands or you make signs. We have to tell people what's going on
He's like 10 years
because this
old,
is
by the
a
way.
recording. There's no video to go with
He
it.
grew a beard so he'd look mature. Mature.
I'm hiding
All
my
right.
face.
And there's your mama right there. That's his wife.
So what are some of the other things that you've done that are voice industry related? Like, for instance, what is looping?
Looping is sort of like... It's sort of like, and I'm going to say that because the money's different and the credit is different. It's additional voices on movies. So say on Toy Story, for instance, there's all those toys. In the long shots, you see all the toys. Well, principal voices take up 5 or 6 of those voices, but there's still more that is basically crowd, and that's called ADR or looping. When you go into a film in post-production before it's finished and put in these additional voices, or say, for instance, the principal character's running down the street. Well, they're not going to mic her for that, but I am going to go in afterwards and add that extra noise. And they're not going to call the star in to do that when I can breathe for Kirsten, what's her name, Dunst. I breathed a lot for Kirsten Dunst.
That's funny. I went to school with her.
And you breathed with her too?
I wish.
But all of that qualifies you to be a cast member. So when the your name might only show up above Panavision for the last thing, but you're still accredited. I mean, and you still get your pension and health, and it still shows up. It's a really, to me, it's rewarding. To a lot of people, it can be very boring, like recording a books on tape.
Okay.
But to me, I find it very interesting and exciting the whole time. And it's not just animated films that need looping. It's any TV show. You know, I've
So
done-
there's more work to do that?
Yes, there's, and on Criminal Minds or Gossip Girls or Murder, She Wrote or any of these TV series that are single camera. The multi-camera shows not so much, but definitely features and.
Luis is always trying to introduce me to these new wacky types of entertainment. Like, what's that stuff that comes from Japan that you told me about? What's it called?
Anime.
Anime. Yeah, it's too bad you weren't doing stuff like that.
I've done a lot of anime. Oh, you
have?
did it again. You segued me in there. Anime is dubbing in a sense. It's dubbing, but it's not necessarily as. What am I trying to say? It's not as. It's more focused than looping a film. Like when I loop a film, there's 10 of you, and all of a sudden they say, okay, you guys are these screaming people coming out of this burning building. You're going to scream for 25 seconds, and then you're going to get quiet, and then you're going to all die. And so we'll watch the screen, and we'll follow the screen. And we'll do it again and again to make bigger crowd sounds. In anime, like something like Zatch Bell, I did the voice of this guy, Zatch. Or in the, what's the guy, the big famous director, Miyazaki films. There's a bunch of movies like that I've looped.
Cool.
But in anime, it's done before. The animation's all done, and it just comes over here, and you just put the voice in.
Because it doesn't have to sync up necessarily.
It does have to sync up. I mean,
Oh, it does?
you're thinking
Okay.
Speed Racer in the old days.
It's
And-
yeah, exactly. Like it's
That's
because
right,
it's
Speed
dubbed.
Racer. We've got to go now.
Yeah, and yeah,
We've got to go now.
and then the mouths keep moving. Exactly. So now they're trying to avoid that and make it like pretty much all the other productions where it locks.
And anime has become a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yep.
There are
Thank you,
cons,
Pokemon.
like Comic-Con.
It wasn't just Pokemon.
Or there are cons that are strictly geared towards anime. And the people that come to those will spare no expense in
Oh,
the
yeah.
cosplay outfits, you know, when they dress up like it, and it costs a fortune to get in.
You can't just watch this stuff. You need to live it.
They live it.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for these fans that do nothing but live the cartoon that someone else makes up, which I don't understand, it's not my life, but it's how they spend a great deal of their energy.
It supports a lot of the productions too because there's
Yep.
so much money in that.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, they pay for you to go to these conventions where I do my auditions in my hotel room and then go and sign autographs for Tenchi Muyo.
In a cosplay outfit.
I don't dress up.
Oh.
No, you dress up. You dress up. I don't dress up. But it goes. It's bigger
Just show
than
up
even
in
that.
your bunny slippers and a cigarette hanging out of your mouth. And
You can cut this
All
part
right.
out, but you know, no, I'm not going to say that. Okay.
what do you want me to sign?
So I've done a lot of looping and a lot of anime, and yeah.
Nice
That's
outfit.
cool.
What
That's
are,
really
what,
cool.
are, what are the biggest anime shows that you?
I think Tenchi Muyo was a surprise. I didn't expect it to be so big. And
Yeah, Tenchi's huge.
yeah, I play this little thing that's like a bunny spaceship cat called Ryo-Oki. And then I did Zatch Bell, of course.
You didn't know this, did you?
What?
He's an anime fan.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm one of those nerds. that I don't dress up, but I have friends who do.
I've done more, but I just can't
Sure,
remember.
Louise.
Because it all merges together, like the video game world and the anime world. It's work, and I like it. I like cartoons better because you have the sense of continuity. In anime, you're just thrown into the booth and say, okay, you are going to just say this, and there's the mouth, and no acting involved, just match the flaps. Or if you're doing a video game, they're saying, okay, you're soldier number 1, you're going to die here, you're going to get by a
You were
bullet.
soldier number 1.
I don't know what I am. It all goes by in a blur, Larry.
Can't imagine you as. All right.
No, that's not a
Get
soldier.
down quick.
Hey,
He's got the AK-47.
they get you for 3 voices, so you might, if you go in as, I do this part called Tie Me on this game, Guild Wars 2, something like that. And so when I do her voice, then they, for the same amount of money, they can throw in a few soldiers, or people dying, or townspeople.
Cool.
So you're constantly playing the tough guy. That's your role.
The first thing they call me in
Soldiers.
is,
She's been typecast
Hitman.
as.
I'm going to kick your butt.
I love it.
That
I love
would be
it.
that would be an awesome
It's easier for them when they can call in someone and they can, do the little kid voices and do the sweet little girls and the princesses, and then also have them be the soldiers. I can do a soldier. Shut
hear it.
up.
Let's hear it, please.
You have to prove it now. We're recording.
All right, we're going in. See, I can do it. Ugh.
Yes.
You're laughing at me.
We're laughing with you. It's not
No,
at
you're not.
you.
You're laughing at me.
143.
143.
Yeah, that's pager code for I love you.
It is.
Yeah. That's like a junior high thing.
Oh, okay, right.
Get it?
Pager.
Do you get it now? Like,
Yeah.
because it's I is one letter, love
Right.
is four. Yeah. So we used to that was a whole thing.
Wow, what the?
What?
Is this like way over
On
your
some
guys'
pagers,
head?
when you would
remember?
page,
Do you
when
guys
put in the
remember
numbers,
pagers?
You could put in the
Barely.
numbers,
There's
and
these
then it
things
would
called
come up.
iPhones.
Instead of
Have you heard of
paging-
texting?
Yeah.
How about emoticons?
Yeah. But yeah, this is
Actually,
all
write
current.
real words.
We're talking about ancient technology now.
Is that when you
remember
wrote when
that.
you put numbers on the calculator and turned it upside down and
Yes, that's
Pretty
the
much.
same thing.
Because see, back in the day, kiddies, before there was this
7, 0, something, yeah. 3, that's part of love.
Yeah, no, yeah, 70. What the heck would the V be? I don't remember how to spell love.
Thank you for listening to the Cornerbooth. Apparently, we've lost half of our listeners now. Because most of them are going, what's a pager?
Yeah, that's what I was about to get into.
What was that thing she was talking about? A type
What?
writer?
A typewriter, rotor. Yeah, the pagers. You couldn't text. Guys, remember? You don't remember? You were not even born yet. You couldn't text faces and pictures and all
Yes,
that
you
stuff.
can.
You could only send numbers on pagers.
And then somebody got brilliant and did a colon paren,
Colon
Yes.
parentheses.
and it was over.
Ah.
It was over. And then
Yep.
somebody just got more and more clever from there.
Yep.
Which is the greater than or less than is the
I
angry
do
eyes.
not know.
Uh-huh. Oh, the angry eyes.
Or the sad eyes, which depending on which
I think
one
one
you
has
use.
to be a greater and one has to be a lesser, right?
No, you have to do the greater than, and then the colon, and then the parenthesis. What are we talking about? Why are we-
We're talking about me and my career and how much I love voiceover.
Will they allow you to do Jimmy Neutron's voice? Can we hear it?
Oh, yeah, they can. Hold on, I'm gonna go out to my hovercraft and then I'm gonna fly over the candy bar, which happens to be next to Buchanan Arms.
Yes.
Do they have purple flurp here? Purple flurp martinis.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna see Jimmy Neutron the same again.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Debbie has ruined your dream. She's ruined the masquerade.
Guys, if you listen,
That's the cosplay you have at home too, isn't it? You have a Jimmy Neutron costume.
if you listen closely, you can
I don't
actually,
even dress up for Halloween.
you can actually hear the fantasy crumbling. If you listen closely.
the
I didn't
shattering.
mean to shatter you.
It was really the anime stuff that he was really geeking out about.
I'm just kidding. It can't be shattered. It's too powerful. It's too strong.
Hold his own. Silence.
The end.
Thanks for having me. What are you working on now? Oh, just stuff. A lot of stuff.
Who said that?
Well, isn't that the next question?
No, we're
Oh,
supposed
okay.
to go, Larry asked me this.
Larry.
So, Debbie, what are you up to now?
Oh, good golly, Larry. I am,
So busy, so busy.
I'm so busy. I spent all summer at conventions. And somehow
Not
or
dressing
other,
up.
people, no, like going there and signing autographs. And people wanted to
That is awesome.
study with me. So now I have people coming and studying with me, which
Oh, can I take a class?
you don't need a class. You should be teaching classes
I have, but mostly in
in the drawing
how
part.
to, draw or how to make movies, little.
See?
Anyway.
I love what I do. I just audition a lot. I'm working on, different projects and, let's see. Which one you know of?
Do you have anything for sale? Maybe people want to buy something online.
I got my kids' CDs online, and I got my book, Baby Banana and the Licorice Tree online. I have my dogs and my
The
son.
hit song.
They're not for sale, though. And,
Not at any price?
the
dogs,
no.
definitely.
Oh, the dogs I would sell. For like $1 million, I would sell them probably. But the son, no. I'm not selling him. I'm waiting for my next big cartoon series, which I'm hoping will come soon.
Cool.
I have a McDonald's thing that runs all the time. I'm their voice of this boy, Ferris. And
Does he need to be saved?
No, it's Ferrol.
Oh.
No, Ferris. He's on all the Happy Meal commercials that if you don't watch kids' cartoon stations.
I do,
But
though.
that's okay.
I watched, my
Oh.
default channel is Cartoon Network.
Okay.
I just
well,
put that
then-
on in the background. So I hear this. I'm sure I've heard you many times
Basically,
on
I go in and I do my little boy thing. Whoa, yeah, excellent. Woo. And then I do Alka-Seltzer, that little guy Speedy Alka-Seltzer.
Oh, cool.
It's a cold truth.
It's like they're all here right now. This is cool.
They are all here running around the table, making a mess, eating your peas.
Every time she starts to do a voice, Chance closes his eyes and looks up in the sky. I don't know what he's doing.
So who are our people listening? Who are these people? Hi, people. I don't know who you are, but you can go to DebiDerryberry.com.
That's actually a good idea. and then just-
DebiDerryberry.com. It's a ridiculous name. It's just like it sounds.
Dessert or anything
Except that it
else?
only has one B.
The first
Debbie.
name,
Okay.
yeah, there's
What
only-
Everything was great.
Well, the last name was so
thanks.
long that I had to shorten the first one. And I never get it wrong. Other people do. But if you just remember that the last name's so long, like Strawberry or Huckleberry, that the first name's just as short as you can make Debbie. D-E-B-I. And you can call me, like, Debi Derryberry. Debbie Moore.
The bee?
Debi Derryberry.
That's
French, Debi Derryberry. And, what else? I ain't got nothing.
Deb, because like if you Deb obviously short for Deborah or Debbie, and then you have like
Obviously.
okay, you know what?
Indubitably. Say indubitably.
Indubitably. Not your boy.
Is he doing that smart aleck thing again?
Yeah. He's good at that thing, that smart alecky thing. I gotta hand it to you, bro.
I'm assuming that Jimmy Neutron was your favorite of all the, or
You know,
was
he
it?
was a big favorite, but I really liked that. I did that thing with Howie Mandel, Bobby's World.
Oh yeah.
Remember he had his friend with the long pigtails? Her name was Jackie, and she always had wise things to say to Bobby. That was a super fun cartoon to do because we got to record all together in the same room.
Oh, that's great.
And which one was this again?
Bobby's World.
I loved Bobby's World.
What's your favorite day to record?
Because I started on Film
sorry.
Roman when they were doing Bobby's World, and that's one of the very first things that I actually ever saw
I was
be
doing Tom and Jerry
done
movie.
in production.
And which voice were you? Did you say already?
Jackie.
I'm sorry. Awesome.
Jackie, his girlfriend with the long pigtails.
Cool.
And she always had wise things to say. Like her mom watched Sally Jesse Raphael.
Yes.
What's your favorite day of the week to
Yes.
record?
I don't think I have a favorite doing it.
I thought-
It depends what it is. If it's going to be tough, it would have,
I
what?
thought it would be Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday because I'm on the Addams Family. And I was the voice of Wednesday. She didn't have a lot of energy. She liked when the sky was cloudy and gray. I thought you were like being serious because there are shows like Tasmania that we had to only record on Friday because it was so stressful.
Come to Tasmania.
Jim would need a whole weekend to recover after that. And
Oh,
me
man,
too.
that
That was a
would.
tough voice. It hurt. Can't believe I booked
And then
it.
he'd go over to Disney and do Winnie the Pooh next.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, we definitely had to do that session on Fridays. So I didn't realize. See, you catch me. Every time these segues happen, he gets me. I'm like a big stupid. I'm like a natural blonde or something. Which obviously I am. Cha.
What? Well, what other Warner's cartoons?
That's it. In the whole world, that's it. Tasmania. And what is it, Larry? He's like singing the password thing, the Jeopardy.
No, I was thinking they're tiny.
But I don't want to talk about that.
I know, okay.
I love that.
Anyway, it's a long time ago. You can talk about it now.
No, I don't. I should.
It's been about years ago.
It was years ago.
I'm working with a couple guys, Andrew Austin and Jim Stahl, pitching some more cartoon series that I have a finger in, and we've been, developing for a while. And
Cool.
who knows what's going to happen? You can pitch it for all kinds of things, for educational-based web things, or international or cartoons. You just never know. It's just such a big world. You never know where to pitch what. And one time you're pitching, and they say we want just character-driven fun, and then you go in with character-driven fun, and they're like, oh, didn't they tell you we're educational now? We need educational.
So no fun.
Yeah, no fun.
They couldn't possibly be both.
You couldn't possibly switch it, the storyline a little bit and make it. No, sorry, move on next. You missed the boat.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
So I just have my fingers in a whole bunch of stuff.
Nice.
Teaching and video games and auditioning, animation and commercials and animation for regular like the commercials, and then cartoons and.
As an artist, diversification is the best way to survive.
I think it might be the only way.
Say that again, but louder, dude, because that's very important.
Yeah, people that are listening might want to actually hear your voice.
I said diversification as an artist is pretty much the only way to survive.
And by artists, you mean only those people that draw and paint and do visual media?
No, I mean.
Oh, you mean people that act too, like
Debbie.
That is why. That's what I'd say. She's basically an example of an artist who is diversified.
I didn't get that. Sorry, I'm a little slow.
And over the holidays, I did book an on-camera spot as an elf for one of the Samsung commercials. That was a stretch, let me tell you.
Because you're too tall?
They can't see. For all they know, I could be 6 feet tall, Mr. Whitaker.
Yeah. Sorry.
They wouldn't know I'm 4'10" and a half.
So any advice for people that want to get into doing voice work or into film, like, listen to your parents, stay out? Or
If there's anything in the world that you would like to do besides be an actor, do it.
This is the first run screaming for the hills advice we've had on this show, I think.
And if you want to get into voiceover, it's an acting job. So you need to take acting lessons
classes.
or acting classes. Be in a theater production, or take classes so that you can actually experience the acting aspect of it. Every aspect of the business has different timings. If you're going to be on a camera commercial, it's different timing than, say, a sitcom. It's different timing than, say, a dramatic series or a feature film or something that's, animated or super high energy, or maybe more promo is different than radio commercial. Everything has its own pacing and timing, and it's all about being able to act and adjust in every situation. And you're not going to be good at everything.
What do you mean?
Well, you and me are different, okay? But I'm just saying most people...
There are exceptions to the rule, and they're sitting in this table.
But you may not know what you're good at, so you may need to explore a lot of stuff. You need to take acting classes, improv classes, and take from people that know it, and just lots of practice.
I will say that when I have taken acting classes in the past as a professional, always there were professionals in the class. Like I took classes and Bill Farmer was in the class. Mm-hmm. You were working right when I was taking class? I'm just kidding. I knew you were working.
I guess I was working.
And who else was in our class with us?
Oh, the girl from the Go-Go's.
Go-Go's. Jane Weedland was in class with us.
So you will rub elbows with people who are working. They're working right now, but they want to keep their skills sharp.
I still take classes. I don't always tell them who I am when I'm taking it.
Okay.
Like I took an on-camera commercial that was a beginning on-camera commercial class, and it was probably the last week that they found out that, I do work. I do make a living in this business. I am known in my tiny, tiny, tiny little world.
Cool.
But not necessarily on camera. I'm not Flo from... Progressive Insurance, but I'd like to be. You can always study and learn more. But you can't just get into voiceovers. Oh, you really want to just to get... Yeah, people say I talk funny. People say I have a good voice. It has nothing to do with it. It has absolutely nothing to do with it at all. And these days, it has to do with, how willing you are to learn the devices and to be available to record these auditions, to go get your coaching help if you need to. I mean, I have people who have national campaigns for radio commercials coming to me to get coaching for an animation audition because it's that big. I mean, if you can land one of these TV series, it's can hold you for a while.
Cool. Yeah, especially, yeah, I mean,
That's
you're
my advice.
recurring character. They just keep doing new episodes. That's awesome.
To me, it's all, any acting is just fun. But my advice to anyone is don't bother. Don't hurt yourself. It's too hard
Unless you love it.
unless you love the process.
Yeah, there's always the people out there that have no choice because that's all they've ever wanted to do, and that's basically
the
like
one.
you're
And
the
those
ones
are the
we're
people that
talking
are
to.
working.
Yeah,
But even if you're not working, you're still, I mean, I have lots of friends who, still have their day jobs or are okay with making $150 a week. They just make it work with a lower rent apartment because there's nothing else they want to do. So, God bless you if you have a passion, and it's nice if you can find something to, to feed that passion.
Yeah.
It's a shame if it's acting, but it's...
you'll make it work for yourself because you want it bad enough, and you have to want it bad enough because you're gonna have to work really, really hard.
And you have to enjoy the process because, like I said, I auditioned probably for 100 things this week. And I don't think I booked one of them. But I never know, and sometimes I know 6 months later.
Right, and rejections,
that's right,
it's like
that's right.
rejection's never personal, too. That's one of the big things
And it's
people
not
have to get over.
rejection.
Exactly, it's just we went a different way. That doesn't mean we didn't like what you did.
There could be.
Well, they might not have liked what you did.
Well, very few people do. Thank you so much for pointing that out. I know, I love it.
There are so many people that do similar types of voices, because if you're doing voice work, unless you are doing your voice, there are those out there who they have their one voice that's very popular, like the original Winnie the Pooh, Sterling Holloway. He never did anything but Sterling Holloway.
Mm-hmm.
Most voice artists that I have known have a range, so they have different types of voices that they
And
do.
you really have to be
And
able
there's competition in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the skill set of changing your range in the voice.
I did an audition yesterday with 5 different characters. One was an Irish 12-year-old tough boy, and then there was a southern one, and he was kind of a wing-up. Do you know this person?
I do.
Some annoying people.
Somebody's approaching our table.
Jeez.
Doing
What's up, brother?
How you
Welcome
doing,
to
man?
our-
brothers.
I know, it's
Who
good
is
to
it?
see
What's
you,
up,
man.
man?
It's been
I
a-
forgot your name.
Chance.
Chance,
I thought
How
with
would
chance
you-
I'd remember your name.
Lewis, Larry
You're
Whitaker,
being recorded on our podcast.
I hope so. My name is Chris.
Chris,
Larry
Debi
Whitaker.
Derryberry.
What's the name?
Debi Derryberry.
Debi Derryberry. Beautiful.
I talk like a baby.
Right on. Are you serious?
Yeah, we're doing a show right now, man. So
But
welcome.
it's a
So
What do
what's
you
your
do,
name?
Chris?
My name is Chris Bolden. I used to be a background designer on The Simpsons.
Aha!
See who dropped by the corner booth?
And now I'm across the street at Starburns Industries.
What do you do
working
there?
on- I'm on Rick and Morty, the new show on Adult Swim.
I
Okay.
just saw the first episode of that I've ever seen. I really liked it,
an
man.
epic show.
It's
Yes?
insane.
it's crazy.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on. Who's casting that show?
Well, it's a show. It's created by Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon, the creator of Community.
Okay.
It's a sitcom, and but I'm currently between seasons. But we just got signed for a second season, which starts end of April.
Congrats,
But
man.
right now we're working on it. Do you guys remember the old G.I. Joe cartoon from the early '80s?
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
So Community, the sitcom, is doing an all 22-minute G.I. Joe cartoon with
Do you want to pause
the
that?
Community characters as G.I. Joe characters.
Awesome.
Is any of the information you're giving us secret?
Do I have to edit this
Because
out?
we're on.
Hold on. So anyway,
Hold on. Here, I want to be on
we're
your
at
show.
Foster Freeze right now,
Give that to the
and
people and tell them it's
working,
me. He cares
with Juan Puedes.
a great deal.
And so, anyways,
That's
but
awesome.
so yeah, man, just
That's great.
Dude.
it's awesome. Yeah, things have been really good, and they just got off of of a show called Planet Famous, a pilot for Dana Carvey, who's pitching his own show, where like NASA has been secretly taking the DNA from actors and creating this planet full of famous people.
That's funny, dude. I like it. I like it.
Which gives Dana a venue for his voices and stuff like that. So, looks like they got you like locked in here.
Yeah, right.
There's no real easy way out, at least for Lewis.
Well, I'm the one they have to lock in. They didn't want me going.
We're trapped.
I see Lewis has his sort of debonair.
Well, no, it's just because
scarf on.
I forgot to take it off. It's freezing in my office.
Outside,
No,
yeah.
it's freezing in my office.
Outside.
and I'm
Guys,
Southern
I'm sorry you're in the
California.
middle of
It's
an interview, but
freaking-
good, nice to meet you guys,
Nice to
Derryberry.
meet you, Chris.
Larry Whitaker.
Larry Whitaker.
Larry.
We should
With Cornerstone Animation. I mean,
No.
Ghost movies.
Ghost Train.
ghost movie.
Cornerstone was my old company, but
Sorry,
thanks
you
for
see-
reminding me.
That was when there
CornerGhostMovies.com.
was room left. You see, there was a spot
I'm
for
an animation
that.
director. We work in the same business. Debbie's
okay.
done voice work for
And
years.
he used to work at
Cornerstone.
Film Roman too. Like we were all in the same building too.
Cornerstone's
familiar.
long gone. Now it's
Okay.
Ghost Train Pictures.
He's a brilliant animator.
Thank you. Debbie
One of
does
the-
voice work. Jimmy Neutron.
Right on. That's awesome. Cornerstone, any sort of like.
Well, Cornerstone doesn't exist anymore.
Okay, take Cornerstone
Thanks for
and
bringing
forget
that up,
word. Forget that word. He's Ghost Train Pictures.
Ghost Train's
Ghost
got
Train Pictures.
Ghost Train's got some really cool stuff. In
Yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Very cool stuff. I've seen some of it. Oh, you busting it out?
Well,
Let's
how
do
did
it.
you find the two biggest nerds on the show? Well, Chance,
He was in my animation.
Simpsons?
Yes.
Oh, awesome, man.
Thanks, dude.
How's your mom?
I was a guest teacher.
She's good.
She's good?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for asking.
I was a guest teacher when he was in college, and I was teaching animation, and you took my animation course.
What college you go to?
I actually went to Cal State Northridge, which is one of the first times I ever met Larry. He was like talking to our class. He came in and talked about the industry with Rocky. That was awesome, dude. I'll never forget that whole speech.
Film Spirit, is there like a religious connotation behind this?
Ghost Train Pictures. Not at all.
Almost spirit.
Oh, spirit. Okay. All right.
I like that.
Well, guys, I won't keep you.
No, dude, it was
Because I could easily jump in here and just like rob your interview.
maybe.
You kind of did.
You know what?
Contact info?
We
I
might
could
be giving
take
you a
it.
call.
We might be giving you a call. Yeah, see, but this
Totally,
is
man. Just
dude.
My
surf-
dog got neutered.
I was so sorry for
And we're back to the cone of shame.
Yeah.
Out of shame.
Is there any?
It's funny thing about dogs is you can
Neuter them.
the two times when you can really see the shame in their eyes.
Cone of shame.
The two times when you can really see the shame
When
in their
they're
eyes
pooping.
is when they're pooping. They you can see the vulnerability in their eyes. This is the only time that you could bite me. And then when they got the cone.
Cone of
you could-
shame.
you could see the embarrassment.
Dude, is there any way we could contact you or something? So
Yeah,
that we could...
I'll give you my number.
You don't have a card you can whip out
Now,
like
you
we
might want
did?
to pause this.
Why not?
You don't want the number on the
Well, we'll
recording.
edit it
Just
out.
write it.
We'll edit it out.
Write it
Why
there.
interrupt the flow?
Actually, you know what? Here.
Back to
This
the
is better.
defense commercial. Sorry, I can't believe it.
Oh, what
Oh,
kind of
were you guys
soup do they
talking about that
have?
stuff? Huh? That's my favorite
Kakaliki.
subject.
You know they have a soup here that's called kakaliki soup.
Kakalik?
It's what you have when you wear Depends.
But it's delicious.
Well, a friend of mine's writing a novel. It's called From Diapers to Diapers.
Diapers.
I like that title. I really like that
Oh
title.
yeah, I
That
get
makes me
it.
sad.
I get it.
It
Guys,
is.
so old.
It's
yeah.
sad because it's true.
It's sad because it's true.
Why? You're closer.
It's funny because it's true.
Did you see this eye get a little smaller?
Hit me.
I want to give you my
You know
website
what? I
too.
almost
Okay.
did.
That's Surf Forever, 2 F's.
Were you friends with me?
You have a good memory too, Chris. Thanks for asking about my mom. Breast cancer survivor, still
Yes.
strong, still going.
Awesome.
I know
thinking
she's
about it.
past the 10-year
About
mark
getting
pretty
married?
much
Yeah.
on that. So I can't believe that it's been that long, but I'm so happy and thankful that it has. You know what I mean? It doesn't. Time
see.
flies.
Take some time.
So
Some things we remember, some things we don't. Like, I've already forgotten your guys' names.
Debi Derryberry.
Debbie Gary and
Yeah,
Debi
ma-
Derryberry.
make sure-
Derryberry. Debi
and
Derryberry.
Larry-
Whitaker.
Larry Whitaker.
Whitaker.
Larry
Whitaker.
Yeah, make sure to pass on her info to
Good to
the.
see you guys.
You too, man.
You guys are
How is
great,
that beat?
great folks, man.
back
We
at you,
are.
bro. We're gonna keep in touch. I'm gonna get your info from him, and we'll catch up more.
Yeah, give me a buzz anytime.
Okay.
Bye, Chris.
All right.
Thanks, Chris.
Take
You too,
care.
bro.
Now back to me. Who has to edit this?
I do.
Oh.
Yeah, and he will be
Thank
editing
you,
this
bro.
one apparently.
Thank you, bro.
How do you know it's still recording?
It's locked on. Like it won't stop till we tell it to not.
We've been
record.
going for an hour.
Yeah.
That's actually.
We got to
not-
wrap it up.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
bye-bye.
a perfect length.
Go to blast!
It's one thing I've learned is it is hard to get Debbie to stop talking.
Do you want to know what I'm going to do the rest of the day?
No.
Oh, you should have seen her face. It was priceless. It was
That was
so
acting.
perfect. Yeah. And that was awesome acting.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that.
That was
so
method
much.
acting.
I thought the show. I thought it was about her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what are you going to do for the rest of the day?
Oh, that's funny you should ask. I'm going to go home and take my dog with his cone of shame out to have some poopy and be shameful. And
Double
then,
shame.
Double shame. I'm going to do some doggy double shame. And then I'm going to pick up my son, and his tutor's going to come. And
Laugh at the dog.
and we're going to laugh at the dog.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'm gonna probably pack lunch for tomorrow for him, and clean my house. And there might be a little thing of poo on my floor.
Oh no!
That's
Huh.
it. And then this weekend is just family stuff. Thanks for asking.
Cool.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Well, see, I'm actually glad that one of you brought that up because I was going to ask you what a day, like a typical day in the life of was like, because you were talking about being sort of all over the place all the time.
You don't want to know.
You do. I'm going to tell you. Shut up. Listen.
Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
I get up. I make my kids lunch and get them off to school, and then I go to the gym, and then I come back, and then I knock out how many auditions I have to do, and then either I'll have a student or I'll have a job, and then I'll do some more auditions, and I'll pick up my son from school, and then the opportunity to audition is over until he finishes his homework and he gets on the Xbox, and I ask him to mute it, and I record some more,
Okay.
and then and then we crash.
Cool. That's awesome though, because it sounds very flexible.
It is, and it's very busy, and it's a lot of work all the time.
Yeah.
Like you guys, you try so many things and you work at so many different things, and very few of them pay you money, but there might be one that does.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm paying you for
I've never had
today.
that problem.
I'm giving you money for interviewing.
Back to exceptions of the rule. Thank you, Mr. Perfect. No.
When you draw, it rains money. Is that what you're saying?
Unfortunately, it truly is pennies from heaven.
You guys, thank you for having me on your show. I am honored, and as always, it's great to see you, and good luck to all of you.
Can you
Thank you
repeat
so
the
much.
website and
Yeah, www.debiderryberry.com, DEBIDERRYBERRY.com.
and there you could and links to your albums and
Yeah, it has my CDs. How old are you? Has my CDs. I'm kidding.
no
I'm so much
CDs
older than him.
anymore, right?
No, it's all digiboxes. I don't know what they are.
So when you used to work with June Foray back when she was a kid, what was
You're so silly. I didn't work with her. She's shorter than me. That's not why I would
Now.
work
that's
with her.
the only reason.
Yeah, you can see all my voices and the class schedules and my convention schedule appearances and all my characters I've done, and you can buy my kids' CDs, and I also make hand cream. I know, it's ridiculous, but some
that's
people
cool.
are really good at chocolate chip cookies, and I
what's
make
the hand cream made from?
It's made from all kinds of natural ingredients without any minerals or parabens.
Or dogs?
Or dogs. There's no dog oil in it, and I make lots of different flavors, and it's just
Flavors?
fun. Scents. Can't
Oh,
eat it,
what kind of hand
but you
cream
could
is
eat
this?
it. I'm
It
looking for
doubles
some
as
in
a
my
spread
purse.
for your toast.
Yes, it's a floor wax. It's a dessert topping.
Well, cool. Thanks for joining us, Debbie, and everyone. Thanks for listening again. Don't forget to check out Ghost Train Pictures. I'm sorry, it's over. You can check out Ghost Train Pictures on Facebook or go to ghosttrainpictures.com. And next time we will be talking about something interesting, industry, or
We don't even
or
know
we'll be
yet.
interviewing each other or someone famous like Debbie. So until next time, we'll see you at
The Corner Booth.